Hello, hello, hello. Reverend Brianna Lynn here, the Wild Woman of Wild Woman Rhapsody. And this is approximately episode number 80. I really don't know because I've been doing these videos now for officially over 3 years. And we've been jamming on all these wild topics. And today I wanted to jump on here and chat a little bit about presence, because I've been learning a lot about presence recently because there has been a lot of things testing my presence. And so we get to dive into the two spectrums of what is not presence. There is so much going on around what we think masculine and feminine is, and I'm going to use those terms here and hopefully define them a little bit for you. But overall, what I really want to talk about is presence. Hi, say hi if you're here. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. As always, your comments are welcome. Let's keep them in the joy with no accusation. You're more than welcome to share what it is that you would like to share here. When I share, I'm channeling, so this is my truth for me first. And if it resonates with you, fantastic. And if not, no big deal. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Monica. It's good to see you. So I want to start with the two sides of the spectrum of presence. If presence is right in the middle, on one side is collapsing and on the other side is posturing. I'm going to start with posturing because that's my go-to when I feel like shit, when I don't feel safe. When I feel like someone's coming at me, when I'm being accused of something. Hi, Andrea. It's so good to see you. So good to feel you. And especially these past few months when my former partner and I were extrapolating and dissolving our relationship, my tendency is to go to the mind. Does anyone else have that? Like, my intellect is really strong. I've trained my brain. I know how to talk really well. I can talk really fast. And so the tendency when I'm feeling scared is to posture. It's to prove. It's to make me right. It's to, hi Sydney, good to see you. It's to defend. And it's to figure it out. Let me figure it out. Let me get the Excel sheet, or let me put on these scenarios, put out all these scenarios and see which one is true. Posturing. Posturing is what I also work with women and with men, but when I'm working with women, I call her the dark queen. She's the controller. She's the tyrant. She's the one who says, okay, I'm going to figure this all out, and my idea is going to be the thing that saves us all. Has anyone ever experienced this within themselves? I see it a lot within light workers, within healers, within coaches who are like, I'm going to lead the way. I'm going to be the leader who takes us out of the Trump problem. I'm going to be the one who saves the planet from climate change. I'm going to be the one who changes pedophilia. And it's like, actually, that's just posturing. No one of us can change the planet. No one of us can change what is happening. We have to do it in a circle together. But when I'm in a one-on-one relationship or in a conversation where my behavior is coming under the microscope, my immediate tendency is to posture and to say, okay, this is how I'm doing it right, or this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the practice when posturing is to come back to presence. And this is such a humbling process. And this is notes from the field as a student, guys and gals and others, because I by no means am perfect at this. This is a deep, deep learning. And it's, okay, when I go deep into that part of me that wants you to know that I'm a good person, that wants you to know how much I care. The breath, feeling my feet on the earth. I'm barefoot right now, even as I'm doing this. Sometimes in my videos, I tend to posture because I really want to get a point across. And so, can I just be present with you now? Getting my feet in the earth, breathing, touching my own body. And then any sort of movement to get me present. Because I can do like anxious little things like bite my fingernails. I bite my cuticles sometimes when I'm posturing. And the energy goes really fast. So some self-touch. I call it moving the BS mountain, breath, sound, movement, touch. Anyone who works one-on-one with me or in small group or in our SCFT, Sacred Circle Facilitators training, our year-long training for shamanic facilitators who want to lead other people, they learn how to work with BSMT, moving the BS mountain, moving the bullshit mountain. Breath, sound, movement, touch. These are ways for me to move from posturing back into presence. What's happening right now? What am I feeling right now? What's true for me right now? Right? And posturing, I think is a result of not knowing my boundaries for most of my life, not knowing how to say no, right? Most of my sexual activity, especially in my late teens, early 20s, was just because I didn't know how to say no. I wasn't necessarily saying yes to the scenario. I just didn't know how to say no. And so the pendulum swung kind of the other way. And then posturing is all about creating that space of what is actually mine, remember? And so when I work with women, specifically women-bodied individuals, I call it the dark queen, this tyrant who feels like her way is the only right way, and anything that goes off of her way is going to be generations of our parents needed to posture in order to survive, just to get through the war, just to get through the depression, just to get through the next thing. That posturing has been a survival mechanism. But in order for us to create heaven on earth, in order for us not to just meet posturing with posturing, which is what causes deep conflict without a space of resolution, we get to return to presence. Such a learning. The opposite side of the spectrum is collapsing. And I've done this one too. And that's what I call the 50s housewife. It's just like, yes, honey, anything I can do for you, honey. Let me pretzel myself into a space so that you feel safe, honey. That is not useful either. That people pleaser is what I often call her. The collapser, the people pleaser, the 50s housewife. She just wants things to be okay so that the relationship doesn't end. She just wants things to be okay to know that she's not unliked. She just wants things to be okay so that there's not that weird tension in the space when you walk into the kitchen. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck. And we do this collapsing thing. Men and women do it, but I'm specifically talking to the sisters right now, right? When we collapse, when we take our values and put them on the back burner, when we take what is important to us and say, it's not important right now, I'm just going to get through this conversation, we are perpetuating a system of domination. Systems of domination require two parties. They require those who dominate and those who are being dominated. And in the energetic space, we have an opportunity to no longer collapse. Brothers, sisters, Anamkara, my soul siblings. So the collapsing energy is what I've been playing with for the past few months, where I was trying to get my mind to fit around a concept that my heart and my body knew was a fuck no. Okay? The concept was open relationship. The concept was having multiple partners in a relationship. That's not what I want. That's not what my heart wants. That's not what my body wants. But I was trying to fit into it because I was so in love. And so that collapsing piece, and it's so funny because I notice with people who collapse, they also posture in certain areas, right? It's like we posture or collapse. The collapsing piece is the attempt to keep the relationship alive, the attempt to make sure that everything's okay. Whereas presence is I'm willing to put everything on the line in order to be in my truth. And I'm going to be braving about it. This is Brene Brown's braving, right? And the B is I'm going to state my boundaries. I'm going to be very clear. So how do I move from collapsing into presence? It's similar to with posturing. We want to have breath and we want to remember to be brave. We want to have our boundaries. We want to really be in that space where we know what is okay and not okay with us. We need to be okay with saying no. In order to move out of the collapsing, we have to get really comfortable with losing people and things if they're not in alignment with us. And losing is a funny word, but allowing them to be exactly as they are without us needing to make ourselves be something different. Posturing is where I'm trying to make the other person or the situation different. Collapsing is where I try to make myself different in order to fit the scenario. And neither one of those work. Neither one of those work. So really state my boundaries of what is okay and what is not okay in that scenario. I can't remember R. A is about accountability. Can I be accountable? Can I show up with my word? If I'm going to say that I'm going to do something by when, can I be accountable for it? Can I apologize when I make mistakes? Can I make amends? And can I atone? V is the vault. I don't share things that are not mine to share. I share things from a 50,000 bird's eye view. It means I still share vulnerably, but I'm very careful. Is it 50,000? Is it 20,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 10 feet? How much do I share with whom? I have the tendency to overshare, which is an aspect of posturing. And I overshare in order to paint a picture of what it is that I want you to look at me as. So can I be in presence with you? Can I just share what's alive with you instead of needing to paint a picture of what I want you to think of me as? So that's the vault. AVI is integrity. Integrity means choosing courage over what is easy, choosing courage over what might even be fun, choosing courage over the easy way out. And the mantra that has come to me, which came with my Queen Spirit Lock, this is my Queen Spirit Lock, and you can see my fuchsia hair here. Feeling the pink flame right now, guys. It's very, very pink. The mantra that came to me with this one was a deep one around integrity. I am who I am everywhere I am. I am who I am everywhere I am. And I remember the vault, right? Some people are going to get the 50,000 feet bird's eye view of me. Some people are going to get the 10 feet. Some people get the 2 inches. You know what I mean? Some people are real close to me. But I am who I am everywhere I am. And this has helped me not to need to posture or collapse, but to stay in pure presence. Integrity, I-N... trying to remember what N is. Can't remember N right now, but G is generosity, that I offer the most generous interpretation of people's intentions, words, and actions in every given moment. So to move from collapsing into presence, I like using Braving from Brene Brown, but really diving into the big pieces here are boundaries, right? Like to be okay to say no and be okay to say like, you know what, this isn't in alignment. I get to leave. I get to go, which is exactly what I did in my last partnership. I left and I'm sad and I'm grieving, but I'm on the other side. I'm starting to rebirth myself and really see that if something's not in alignment, it's okay to walk away. I tried to posture. I tried to convince my former partner to be more like me. I tried to convince him that my way was a good way, and he tried to convince me too. But I'll just speak for me. I tried to convince him, like, you got to see that my way is the right way. And then I collapsed. I tried to fit into his way. I tried to make it work in my mind and in my body in a way that did not feel good, in a way that was out of integrity. I was not being who I am everywhere I am. So this move back to presence is about finding that deep masculine and feminine within ourselves, the feminine who is the feeler and the masculine who is the space holder within myself. What does it mean to be feminine rising? It means to be the mother and father of our own experience, to lean into my Father God, right? I've been really focusing on the goddess and I love it. Love the goddess, love the feminine form of God. I've changed it to her many times. And I'm starting to explore my resistance to Father God. Can I lean into the Father? Can I forgive my own father? Can I forgive my former partner, who's now my friend, right? My compadre. Can I forgive my compadre for not being what I thought he was? And forgive the men outside of me so that I can lean into the masculine inside of me, so that I can be present. Because my relationship with presence and not needing to posture or prove anything and not needing to collapse to make sure that you like me, my relationship with presence is my direct relationship with the masculine and men in my life. And if I'm blaming men or if I'm blaming the masculine, I'm not going to be able to show up in presence in my own life. I'm just going to be stuck in the feminine emotions. And don't get me wrong, I love my feminine emotions. I love the felt experience. I love sensuality. That is an essential part of who I am. But that's only half the story. The other half of the story is my ability to bring my full presence, attention, and intention into every moment. Taika says, you speak straight out of my soul with this ending relationship thing. I left 2.5 weeks ago and still have such a strong process. Yeah, me too, sis. I left almost 2 months ago and I still have a strong process. But this piece of not needing to prove and not needing to change anyone else or anything else, like to step out of posturing and to step out of collapsing, I need to change myself in order to fit this person or situation, but to come into full presence, this is what is. What is the most sacred thing. The most sacred thing is what is. So when I'm with the what is, and I can allow myself to hold myself. I'm not expecting a man to hold me. I'm not expecting my father to hold me. I can lean into God the Father as he lives through me and allow myself to speak what is presence in my emotional experience. A whole new magic comes online, right? That is the divine alchemy. That is the inner marriage of the inner masculine and the inner feminine, the one who can hold and the one who can be held within myself and no longer exporting the need for that experience to anyone else. That is true self-love, the full integration of the holder and the one being held within my own experience forever and ever. And then relationships become an expression of us as individuals being able to hold ourselves and then hold each other for fun. Then it becomes an expression of fun. I don't need a man to hold me. I don't need a woman to activate my emotional feelings, but I choose to have men and women and anamkara, non-gendered binary individuals, to activate other aspects of self because it's fun and creative and beautiful. And we do need each other. We do need the reflections of each other. But it no longer comes from a place of, I need you to hold me and tell me I'm okay, or I need you to activate my sensuality and tell me that I'm okay. Because those are the two aspects, or the two binaries of the masculine, feminine, or yang and yang, yin, or Shiva and Shakti, however you want to call these polarities, north and south pole. The one who holds, the one who contains, and the one who fully expresses. So in my experience, when the masculine and feminine within are in balance, the child feels safe to play and explore. Exactly. Because the child requires presence, right? Try not being present with a child and playing with them. It doesn't work, right? So when we bring our full mother and our full father, it paused just for a moment, but don't worry, I stopped talking so that I could be with you fully. I am who I am everywhere I am. That is full presence. And that comes when I am leaning into God the Father as he lives through me, leaning into Goddess the Mother as she lives through me, and I'm able to be with both of them and not require anyone else to hold me or to express. I don't require anyone else to tell me it's going to be okay, and I don't require anyone else to activate my sensuality, that I know how to do that within myself. That is the alchemical marriage. That is Jesus and Mary Magdalene. That is Shiva and Shakti. That is the yin and yang. That is eternal life. And so that's what I'm learning, notes from the field of the biggest breakup of my life. Wild Woman Rhapsody number 80, guys. It's getting real fucking real. I have things coming up. I have Daughters of the Moon in October, which is full, but we have another Daughters of the Moon coming up in December, which is an amazing women's weekend and a few Zoom circle ceremonies that is just epic. I also have a couple sacred circles, open medicine circles for people who want to come and sit. I have some one-on-one spaces for those who want to do deep dive immersions and apprenticeship with me here in the beautiful Mother Tree. I've got lots coming up, so if you want to check out who I am and what I'm doing, get in contact theearthtemple.com. which I put on here. Also check us out here on Facebook on our Earth Temple page. But today is really about coming into the center of presence. How can I be all of myself in every moment? I am who I am everywhere I am. So thank you for tuning in. I love you. If you're watching on replay, let me know. Send me some hearts. Send me some love. You can DM me here on Facebook. You can reach out to me on my website. You can email me directly, revbriannalyn@theearthtemple.com. I love talking with all of y'all, and especially if we want to create some magic together. One-on-one, in small group, just with the women's, just with the mixes, just with something. If you want to create a circle and have me come do my thing at it, we can also talk about that. There's a lot of opportunity, and I've got a lot of time right now, so let's create, y'all. I love you. Here's to practicing presence, because it's definitely a practice. It's not about proving. It's not about people pleasing. It's about, can I come with all that I am and say yes to what I want to say yes to and no to what I want to say no to, and not need to change anyone else in the process. Blessings, and here's to your magic. I love you so much, and have a blessed day. Bless, bless, love, love.